Alright, in this video, I'm going to be breaking down what div yield stocks are, why I invest in them, and I'll give you two stocks that I invested in. They're not recommendations, they're just things that I've done. And I'm going to give you a basic blueprint of what I'm trying to accomplish and why I'm trying to do it. Okay, so basically, a div yield stock is a stock that every month or every quarter they give you back a percentage of what you invested. So, in a perfect world scenario, you want to invest into stocks that will basically continuously give you back money every month or every 3 months, so that way you can take the money that you already invested and reinvest it to gain more money. For instance, let's say it's April 2021. I invest $100 into a stock. That's a dividend yield stock. Brooklyn, stop screaming. So, depending on which stock you actually choose, you'll invest that $100. Normally into regular stocks. Hold on, let me segue back. Let me give you an idea of the difference between a regular stock and a dividend yield stock. Okay, so a regular stock, let's say you invest into something that's not a dividend yield stock, either it goes up or it goes down. You don't get any funds or any returns off of whatever the stock is beyond you owning it. And let's say you buy it for $100, you just gotta hope it goes up to $150 or $200 or whatever the case may be. The reason why I use dividend yield stocks, is every month or every 3 months, which is every quarter. So 4 times a year or 12 times a year. With that same $100 that I invest into the stock, I will get a percentage of that back. Depending on the company stock that I invest in, will depend on how much of the percentage. But still in all, I'm still getting a return on my investment so that I can take that money. Let's say I invest $100 into the stock. That's a dividend yield stock. At the end of the month or at the end of the quarter, they'll look at the stocks that I have and they'll give me a percentage of that money that I invested into that stock that normally I would not get that money on a regular stock. So what I usually do is I take those funds that I get every month or every 3 months, and I reinvest it into the stock. It may be the same stock, it may be another stock that does the same type of thing, but I want to reinvest into it. So, for instance, April 2021, I buy 100 shares of stock A. That's not a dividend yield stocks. May comes, June comes, July comes, the stock is still $100. I don't get anything out of it if it's not a dividend yield stock. That's stock A. Stock B, April 2021. I invest $100. Whether it's a dividend yield that pays out 12 times a year, or a dividend yield that pays out 4 times a year, every 3 months. So May goes along, I may get money back from that $100 and still own the stock. Whether it's doing good or bad in a perfect scenario, you want it to do good. But even if it's not, as long as it's retaining some value and not dropping all the way down to where you paid 100, but it's down to like 80. As long as it's in the 95, 90, or whatever your volatility threshold is, but ultimately you're getting dividends back just for owning the stock. Now, fast forward to the end of the year, and then next year, April. depending on how that specific company pays out, you could have gotten 4 paydays or 12 paydays and you still own the stock. Now, within that year, you've gotten 4 or 12 other paydays that has been reinvested into more stocks, more shares of that company or another. So, realistically, if you didn't have a div yield stock, you wouldn't be getting anything back beyond what the stock is already worth. Now, if you continuously, the term that's used for this technique is called compound investing. Now, over time, you want to accumulate a wide variety of different stocks that's in different fields, so your portfolio will be protected. But the main thing you want to do is be able to have passive income that's being delivered to you every month or every quarter, to where you're getting $5,000 a month just for having these stocks, because you've been getting the dividends and reinvesting the dividends back into more stock that pays you more dividends back every month or every 3 months. So after a certain amount of time, when you keep reinvesting the money that you're actually getting from owning the stocks, you should get to a point to where every month or every 3 months, you'll have a pretty penny in a lump sum, a great lump sum of passive income that you don't even have to work for. The money is working for you. Now, this is not advice for you to buy these stocks or any stocks that I recommend. I'm just telling you what I bought. I'll give you 2 stocks that I actually purchased, and these are decent stocks as far as the price point, especially if you want to get into the stock market but you don't want to invest a wide variety, a large lump sum of money. And the average person who can buy a $20 meal can afford these stocks. That's why I picked these 2 stocks for this video. I have a wide variety of different other stocks. I don't want to show my portfolio, but I have a wide variety of other stocks that I may not recommend, but I may show that I actually purchased, because this is a disclaimer. This is not recommendations. I'm just showing you what I have. Well, telling you what I have. I'm not actually showing you yet. But the first stock is Gladstone Commerce. And the actual company to search, or the thing you search on the stock market, is GOOD. Now, this stock has a div yield of about 7. I'm not 100% sure. I'm just going off the top of the head. It's about 7 to 9%. So that means the stock price is about $20. Anything under 20 or at 20, I mean, you want to get the stock and just keep it, because it pretty much stays the same price. But if you can get it on a day where it's under $20, then that's even better, because you'll be profiting more for your cost, the stock price cost, as well as you'll be getting the dividend yields every month or every 3 months. I'm pretty sure that's a stock that gives you div yields every month. It's GOOD on the stock market. Now, the reason why I recommend it, because it's only $20. So that means you can make a couple of lunches every payday and invest $20, $40, $60 to get three shares. It's $20 per share. Oh, I forgot to mention, the more shares you have, the more dividends you get. You get that 7 to 9% off of each share. So each share you own gives you a dividend yield. So the more shares you have in that company, the more percentages you'll get. So the more you buy, the more you get paid every month. And it's like a recycling. It's like throwing a snowball down a hill. But it's $20. So $100 will get you about 5 shares or a little under 5 shares, or depending on the day. Now, the next company I recommend, I don't want to recommend anything. This is not financial advice or financial any sorts. I'm not trying to tell you to do this. I'm just telling you what I did, because I don't want y'all to try to sue me for taking this and running with it and using it for any type of civil lawsuits or fuckery. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to put y'all on the game. Now, you just take this information and you investigate your own companies that have dividend yields, and you do what you in your heart feel that you need to do. But the second company is ticker PSEC. PSEC. And the stock is about $7 to $8. It's like $7.95 right now per stock. And the div yield on that stock is pretty sure it's about 9.9 or 9. It's like 9%. So basically, if you given
I have to change my skin.
if you buy $100 worth of stock in that, you'll probably get about $9 in yields every month, depending on how much the stock goes up or down. Now, that stock, I would highly recommend trying to get it as low as $7. But I mean, anywhere around like the $7.50. I mean, I would want to get in around $7.50, $7 just to get a better average stock course as far as the long haul. But those stocks, hopefully, I mean, I'm not sure if they're going to really take off when it comes to the actual stock value, when it comes to the price. But when it comes to sustaining the dividend yields and paying consistently, those two companies are two companies beyond the other. Well, I'll throw in one more that I use. I used ticker MMM. It's 3M. They usually make tape and sticky notes and stuff like that. It's called 3M. And the ticker is MMM, and they usually have like a 7-point div yield. They're good too. I may be mistaken. Don't quote me on that. But these stocks, obviously McDonald's, Apple, Pepsi, Coca-Cola are also dividend yield companies. So, but I just gave you those two examples: GOOD, Gladstone, I think it's Commerce or company, and PSEC, PSEC. Those are very economy style quality. Like basically they're like penny stocks. It's not as expensive as Apple or McDonald's, where you gotta have like $100. Coca-Cola is probably cheaper, and Pepsi. But it's a wide variety of great things. National Grid,